Hi, first graders. We're back with some more Frog and Toad. This is Frog and Toad All Year by Arnold LaBelle. And it's funny because I was reading some of this today, and there's a snowman on the front, but no snowman in the story. But it's cool because there's one story for every season. So we're going to do first three, and then tomorrow I'll read the last two. So the first one is called Down the Hill. We're going to read Down the Hill, The Corner, and Ice Cream, which is one of my favorites. Down the hill, and this is the winter story from the book. Frog knocked at Toad's door. Toad, wake up, he cried. Come out and see how wonderful the winter is. I will not, said Toad. I am in my warm bed. Winter is beautiful, said Frog. Come out and have fun. Blah, said Toad. I do not have any winter clothes. Frog came into the house. I have brought you some things to wear, he said. Frog pushed a coat down over the top of Toad. Frog pulled snow pants up over the bottom of Toad. He put a hat and scarf on Toad's head. Help! Cried Toad. My best friend is trying to kill me. I'm only getting you ready for winter, said Frog. Frog and Toad went outside. They tramped through the snow. We will ride down this big hill on my sled, said Frog. Not me, said Toad. Do not be afraid, said Frog. I will be with you on the sled. It will be a fine, fast ride. Toad, you sit in front. I will sit right behind you. The sled began to move down the hill. Here we go, said Frog. This is the funny part. There was a bump. Frog fell off the sled. Toad rushed past trees and rocks. Frog, I'm glad that you are here, said Toad. Frog's not there. Toad leaped over a snowbank. I could not steer the sled without you, Frog, he said. You are right. Winter is fun. He has no idea Frog's not on the sled anymore. A crow flew nearby. Hello, Crow, shouted Toad. Look at Frog and me. We can ride a sled better than anybody in the world. But Toad, said the crow, you are alone on the sled. Toad looked around. He saw that Frog was not there. I am all alone, screamed Toad. Bang! The sled hit a tree. Thud! The sled hit a rock. Plop! The sled dived into the snow. Frog came running down the hill. He pulled Toad out of the snow. I saw everything, said Frog. You did very well by yourself. I did not, said Toad, but there is one thing I can do all by myself. What is that? Asked Frog. I can go home, said Toad. Winter may be beautiful, but bed is much better. So he'd rather be in bed. This is called The Corner, and this is the spring story. Frog and Toad were caught in the rain. They ran to Frog's house. I'm all wet, said Toad. The day is spoiled. Have some tea and cake, said Frog. The rain will stop. If you stand near the stove, your clothes will soon be dry. I will tell you a story while we are waiting, said Frog. Oh, good, said Toad. When I was small, not much bigger than a pollywog, now pollywog's a tadpole, said Frog, my father said to me, son, this is a cold, gray day, but spring is just around the corner. I wanted spring to come. I went out to find that corner. I walked down a path in the woods until I came to a corner. I went around the corner to see if spring was on the other side. And was it? Asked Toad. No, said Frog. There was only a pine tree, 3 pebbles, and some grass. I walked in the meadow. Soon I came to another corner. I went around the corner to see if spring was there. Did you find it? Asked Toad. No, said Frog. There was only an old worm asleep on a tree stump. I walked along the river until I came to another corner. I went around the corner to look for spring. Was it there? Asked Toad. No, said Frog. There was only some wet mud and a lizard who was chasing his tail. You must have been tired, said Toad. I was tired, said Frog, and it started to rain. I went back home. When I got there, said Frog, I found another corner. Was the corner of my house.
Did you go around it? Asked Toad.
I went around that corner too, said Frog.
What did you see? Asked Toad.
I saw the sun coming out, said Frog. I saw birds sitting and singing in a tree. You can see them up there. I saw my mother and father working in their garden. I saw flowers in the garden.
You found it, cried Toad.
Yes, said Frog. I was very happy. I had found the corner that spring was just around.
Look, Frog, said Toad, you were right. The rain has stopped.
Frog and Toad hurried outside. They ran around the corner of Frog's house to make sure that spring had come again. You can see the clue. There's some flowers growing there, so I think spring is there. And the last story we're going to read today is a really funny one called Ice Cream. And this is the summer story, which is nice because summer's starting very soon. One hot summer day, Frog and Toad sat by the pond. I wish we had some sweet, cold ice cream, said Frog.
What a good idea, said Toad. Wait right here, Frog. I will be back soon.
Toad went to the store. He bought 2 big ice cream cones. Toad licked one of the cones.
Frog likes chocolate best, said Toad, and so do I.
Those are really big. Toad walked along the path. Do you see a problem? A large, soft drop of chocolate ice cream slipped down on his arm.
This ice cream is melting in the sun, said Toad.
Toad walked faster. Many drops of melting ice cream flew through the air. They fell down on Toad's head.
I must hurry back to Frog, he cried.
Wow, this picture is really funny. Are you ready? More and more of the ice cream was melting. It dripped down on Toad's jacket. It splattered on his pants and on his feet.
Where is the path? Cried Toad. I cannot see.
Look at him. He's covered in ice cream. Meanwhile, Frog sat by the pond waiting for Toad. A mouse ran by.
I just saw something awful, cried the mouse. It was big and brown. Something covered with sticks and leaves is moving this way, cried a squirrel.
Here comes a thing with horns, shouted a rabbit. Run for your life. What can it be? Asked Frog. Frog hid behind a rock. Are you ready for a really funny picture? This is so silly. He saw the thing coming. It was big and brown. It was covered with sticks and leaves. It had 2 horns.
Frog, cried the thing. Where are you?
Good heavens, said Frog. That is Toad. Look at those ice cream cones that made horns. It's so silly. Toad fell into the pond. That was a happy accident, right? He sank to the bottom and came up again.
Drat, said Toad. All of our sweet, cold ice cream is washed away.
Never mind, said Frog. I know what we can do. Frog and Toad quickly ran back to the store. Then they sat in the shade, instead of the sun, of a large tree and ate their chocolate ice cream cones together. And that's the end of the story. And tomorrow we will read The Surprise. So that is Frog and Toad all year. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great night.